Okay, good morning, dear students. So today we are going to do a new lesson, functions of water. So we are going to discuss about water under three topics. Topics තුනක් යටතේ අපි අද මේ lesson එක discuss කරනවා. Water as a solvent, water as a coolant, water as a medium of life. So the first part is water as a solvent. Now here I have given two pictures. So you can see that in this picture, first one is a beach, right? You can see that in a beach, the water is salt taste. මුහුදේ ජලය අපි දන්නවා ලුණු රසයි කියන්නේ. එතකොට මේ ලුණු රස ඇති වෙන්නේ කොහොමද? You know that different kinds of salts and minerals are dissolved in water. ගොඩාක් එක එක ලවණ ಜಾති එතකොට salts මිශ්‍ර වෙලා තමා නැත්නම් දිය වෙලා තමා මේ ලුණු රස හැදිලා තියෙන්නේ. So that you can see that the ocean or else the sea is salty taste. Then here I have taken another picture where you can see fishes are swimming. Now we need air to breathe. Bitter husma ganna වාතය ඕනේ. නැත්නම් oxygen ඕනේ. But now here fishes, what can you say about fishes? Fishes also need oxygen to breathe. But the specificity here is what you can see that oxygen is dissolved in water. Right? So today in this lesson, in this part, we are going to discuss about that. So now you came across a new term called as solvent. Solvent කියලා අලුත් term එකකට ඔයාලට මුණ ගැහෙන්නේ නැති අලුත් term එකක් solvent කියලා. So let's see what is this solvent. Now here I have taken an example of making a salt solution. So I'm taking some table salt and then I'm going to dissolve it in water. So now you can see that these salt crystals are going to dissolve in this water. අපි ලුණු ටිකක් අරගෙන ජලය අපි දිය කරනවා. ඒ හින්දා මේ දිය වෙන්න උදව් කරන කෙනා or the one that is helping to dissolve salt, we are taking as the solvent. So that here water is a solvent. So you can see that once salt is mixed with water, you get a salt solution. මේ දෙක දිය වෙලා හැදෙන එක අපි කියනවා මොකද්ද? salt solution එකක් කියලා. Okay. Next, you have to do an activity. Now we have to do this activity in our school laboratory. Right? You have to take, now here, look at this table. You have to take these substances and dissolve it in 5 milliliter of water and observe what happens. මේ දීලා තියෙන substances අපි අරගෙන අපි ජලය water milliliter 5ක මේක දිය කරලා බලනවා මොකද වෙන්නේ කියලා. මේක දිය වෙනවද නැද්ද? Whether it's dissolving or not. So here look at the substances. White sugar, glucose, you know glucose, right? Condis crystals. Now this is present in our school laboratory. Condis කියන එක අපේ school laboratory එකේ තියෙන එක. I will show you a picture later. And once you come to the school, once we get a chance, we'll look at this. Then surgical spirit, you know that, right? Then coconut oil. Then laundry blue. Laundry blue means what we are using. We call it in Sinhala nil kudu. Nil kudu කියලා කියන්නේ අර සුදු ඇඳුම් වලට අපි දාන්නේ නිල්. ඒවට අපි laundry blue කියන. Then paraffin wax. ඉටි. Kerosene. Common salt. Vinegar. විනාකිරි. Turmeric powder. Kaha. Camphor balls. Kapuru. And then sodium bicarbonate. This is also present in our school laboratory. Alright. Most of these things can be found at home. මේව ගෙදරදී හොයාගන්න පුළුවන්. ගොඩක් ඒවා. එතකොට මේ දිය වෙනවද නැද්ද කියලා ගෙදරදීම කරලා බලන්න පුළුවන්. ස්කූල් ලැබොරටරි එකම ඕනි නැහැ. Alright. So now I think you know that white sugar and glucose, they dissolve in water and it forms a colorless solution. Then surgical spirit is also transparent. It dissolves and form a colorless solution. Then laundry blue, you know that it is blue in color. It also forms a blue color solution, right? Then here this is a picture of condis. So it forms a purple color solution. Here as you can see in the picture, මේ රූපේ පේනවා වගේ මේ තමයි condis කියන්නේ. එතකොට මේක ජලයේ දිය වෙද්දී මේ තියෙන්නේ. This is the final outcome. Okay. All right. Then this is coconut oil and kerosene. So these are not soluble in water. මේව ජලයේ සම්පූර්ණයෙන්ම දිය වෙන්නේ නැහැ. It is somewhat partially soluble. This is kerosene and this is coconut oil. Okay. So now as you can see here, some substances, they completely dissolve in water. Then තේරෙනවා ඇති සමහර ද්‍රව්‍ය සම්පූර්ණයෙන්ම ජලයේ දිය වෙනවා and some they do not. Isn't it? Okay. See, most of the substances dissolve in water. Example, white sugar, glucose and condis. But some dissolve a little and some do not dissolve in water. Example, coconut oil, paraffin wax, even kerosene oil, you can take it as an example. Now here in the first example itself, I asked how fishes breathe. මම පළවෙනිටම අහුවා කොහොමද මාළුව හුස්ම ගන්නවා ඇත්තේ කියලා. So from that itself, I think you got an idea that certain gases, සමහර වායුත් මොකද වෙන්නේ? ජලයේ දිය වෙනවා. So the gases such as oxygen, carbon dioxide are soluble in water. Okay, so now let's see why water is considered as a solvent. Now you can see that many things dissolve in water, isn't it? Using that experiment, and then I told you that gases dissolve in water. Therefore, since water is many things are soluble in water, we take water as a good solvent. So that we say that water is considered as a solvent. So now you know that many things are dissolving in water. Similarly, we can separate the things that are dissolved in water. ඉස්සෙල්ලාම අපි ඉගෙන ගත්තා ජලයේ water වල විවිධ ද්‍රව්‍ය දිය වෙනවා කියලා අපි ඉස්සෙල්ලාම ඉගෙන ගත්තා. එහෙනම් මේ දිය වෙච්ච දේවල් අපිට ආපහු separate වෙන් කරන්නත් පුළුවන් කියලා පුළුවන්ද බැරිද කියන එක අපි බලන්න යන්නේ. So here we take it as we can separate. Okay, we'll learn about that in the next part. ඔන්න ඊළඟ කොටස ඒක කරනවා. So now I'm going to describe you instances where water is important as a solvent. දැන් ජලයේ solvent water solvent එකක් විදිහට වැදගත් වෙන්නේ කොහොමද කියන මොන අවස්ථාවලද භාවිතා වෙන්නේ කියලා තමයි මෙතන describe කරන්න යන්නේ. One is for different aquatic animals, you can see that gases dissolve so that they can breathe. නේ ජලජ පරිසරයේ ජීවත් වෙන සතුන්ට ඔක්සිජන් අවශ්‍යයිනේ. ඒ නිසා ඒක දිය කරන්න උදව් වෙන හින්දා ඔන්න first point is that. Next, battery acid. You know battery acid is used in vehicles so that water is used to make battery acid, right? Then next, to make different kinds of juices you like to drink. එක බීම ಜಾති හදන්න අපිට දෙහි බීම එකක් දොඩම් බීම එකක් නේද? එක ಜಾතිය බීම බොන්න. Not only that, when you make tea, right, you put sugar, then you put tea leaves and all those dissolving water so that it is used to make different kinds of juices. Next, to wash, right? Not only to wash clothes, but since water is a good solvent, right? We can clean ourselves. And then even the clothes and even any surface we can clean because water is a good solvent and many different things dissolve in water so that it is very helpful for us. Then next one is to make decorations like this. I think you have seen decorations like this to dissolve different dyes and do different decorations. එක වර්ගයේ decorations කරන්නත් ගන්න පුළුවන්. See, I have given those as points, right? Okay. So next, I'm going to talk about uses of separating materials dissolving water. දැන් අපි අර කලින් කතා කරපු එකම තමයි අර මං කිව්වේ ජලයේ සමහර දේවල් දිය වෙනවා වගේම තමයි ඒවා වෙන් කරන්නත් පුළුවන් කියලා. So that now we are going to see how to separate things. So this is an activity given in your book. So what you have to do first is you have to take a salt solution. ඉස්සෙල්ලාම ඔන්න ලුණු දිය කරගත්ත ලුණු ජලය දිය කරගත්ත ද්‍රාවණයක් ගන්නවා. You have to take a solution. After that, you have to place it in a petri dish or a evaporating dish and then light a spirit lamp. But at home, you can use a lid. Biscuit tin එකක් හරි tin එකක lid එකක් හරි පාවිච්චි කරන්න පුළුවන්. ඊට අමතරව ඉටි පන්දමක් පාවිච්චි කරලා රත් කරන්න පුළුවන්. Right? So I am going to show you a video related to this. Okay. Okay. So now, let's see what happens. So you can see after some time, once the water is evaporated, right, the salt starts to deposit. මේ සුදු පාටට වැටෙන්නේ ලුණු කුඩු තමයි. Okay, so these white color deposits are salt. Okay, so here in the picture, in the video, I will explain you what are the parts. Now you can see here in the laboratory there is a special so now this is a stand, right, tripod stand, and then this is the Bunsen burner. This is connected to a gas cylinder. Laboratory එකේ තියෙනවා මේකට අපි Bunsen burner එක කියනවා, මේකට tripod stand එක කියනවා. ඒතර මේකේ දැලක් දාලා තියෙනවා, as you can see. So we called it a wire gauze. Given here. Right, this is the wire gauze, and then you can see this is the evaporating dish, right? We call it a evaporating dish. So these are the equipments. Other than that, you can see here there is a boiling tube and boiling tubes and some boiling tube rack. Okay, so this is present in our school laboratories. Lab එකේ තියෙන equipments ටිකක් මම මේ කිව්වා. හරි. So I think now you saw that. What happens once you heat a salt solution. So similar thing happens when you heat a sugar solution, right? Salt remains on the lid as a white powder. Okay. What is the mineral salt dissolved in salt water? Now there are many salts dissolved in salt water. Why? You know that starting from lake, right, ponds, waterfalls, then thereafter traveling a long way, right, then it falls into a big river, a huge river. Thereafter these rivers, they bring this water to the sea, right? It passes lots of places. උල්පතකින් පටන් අරගෙන ඇලදොල ගංගා ගොඩාක් පහු කරගෙන තමයි එන්නේ. Then these water dissolve in many kinds of salts and minerals. ගොඩාක් khaniජ ලවණ දිය කරගෙන තමයි එන්නේ. Right? Thereafter, it falls into the sea, so that now you know that seawater is salty. So the main mineral salt present in seawater is sodium chloride. Right? Sodium chloride. So that is the mineral salt present in salt water. How salt is produced for our usage. Now when you go on a trip, then trip යද්දි දැකලා ඇති මාත්‍ර හම්බන්තොට පැත්තේ තියෙනවා පුත්තලම් පැත්තේ තියෙනවා. Maybe you have come across saltons. Saltons හම්බෙලා ඇතිනේ. So in saltons you can see there are huge tanks, right? They have placed lots very huge tanks, and then using solar energy or else using sun, they evaporate water. ඉරු එළිය පාවිච්චි කරලා නැත්නම් solar energy. Using solar energy, they evaporate water and then they separate salt. Okay. So that is how salt is produced for our usage. I think you have seen if you have gone on a trip. Okay. Then let's see what else. The juice in sugarcane. Sugarcane means in Sinhala we call uk. Contains sucrose dissolved in water. So first what you do is you clean this sugarcane and make a pulp. After that, what happens? Now since this sucrose is dissolved in water, what do? You evaporate those water, right? So that sugar is produced by removing the water in the sugar cane. Likewise, in palmyra tree, then kitul tree, even coconut, right? We take this sweet toddy, right? From kitul flower, then coconut flower, we take a liquid called as sweet toddy. So using sweet toddy, you can evaporate water and get a sugary solution, right? You can do this by heating, not using solar energy. You can heat it. So once you heat, you can get this penny, right? And then once you heat it further, you can get a solid, right? Jaggery hadanna gannawa hakuru, right? You can heat it further to form jaggery. So this is another way, right? So that is about water as a solvent. So then next let's go to the other part, water as a coolant. Now imagine, look at this first picture. I think if you are living in a village, you have seen this scene during a very hot day, very sunny day. What happens? You can see buffaloes are laying in mud like this, right? Why is it? Okay, forget about buffaloes. What about you? When it is a very hot day, right? When it is a very sunny day, right? You are running to water to have a wash or else a bath. නේද? හොඳටම පහක දවසක අපි වතුර ටිකක් බොනවා නැත්නම් ඇඟපත චුට්ටක් වතුරෙන් තෙමා ගන්නවා නේද? The reason for this is what happens now our body is very heated. මේ හිරු රශ්මියට අපේ ඇඟ හොඳටම රස්නේ රත් වෙලා තියෙන. එතකොට ජලයට තියෙන විශ්මිත හැකියාව මොකද්ද? It can cool, right? It can absorb our heat and it can cool our body, right? So the same thing for the buffaloes. Since there are a lot of heat produced in their body, they lay in mud water like this to cool their body. So that you can see now water, we call this water acting as a coolant, right? Water can bear a large amount of heat. It absorbs the heat and reduces the heat of objects. Because of this feature, water is considered as a good coolant. Isn't it? අපිට වතුර බීලා මදි වගේ නම් අපි මොන හරි cool drink එකකුත් බොනවා නේද? It also has what? Water. Isn't it? අපි මොන හරි බීම එකක් හරි cool drink එකක් හරි බොනවා නම් ඒකෙත් තියෙන්නේ මොනවද? ජලයම තමයි. Right? So you have to do another activity. In this activity, we are going to take 2 beakers, right? 2 beakers of same size, and then we are going to put a same amount of wool or else a cotton. එකම ප්‍රමාණය cotton. එහෙම beakers දෙකට දාගන්න. Same size. Then in the first one, I'm going to place the thermometer. This is the thermometer. And then in the other one also I'm going to place a thermometer, but in the second beaker what I do is I'm going to put some water. පළවෙනි බීකරේට ජලය දාන්නේ නැහැ. දෙවෙනි බීකරේට ජලය දාන්න. And then you have to measure the temperature. Right? Then you will notice that the temperature in the second beaker is lower than the first beaker. Right? The temperature of the thermometer in the wet cotton wool has been reduced. So what is the reason for this? Water acting as a coolant. Okay. So that let's see what are the uses of coolant property of water. You know that once engine starts to work, it not only machines but also vehicle engines. You know that once it starts to work, a lot of heat is released. So that what happens? There is a specific part in vehicle where you add coolant in the radiator. So the reason for this is to prevent overheating. අපි වාහනයක් ගත්තත් වාහනයක අපි coolant එකක් කියලා එකක් දානවා. If you have a vehicle at home, ask your parents, right? Ask from your father or your brother, elder brother, or someone who has a vehicle, right? They use water. ජලයක් දානවා ඊට අමතරව coolant එකක් කියලා එකකුත් තියෙනවා. Right? So this is because to prevent overheating. Next, water is used as a coolant in factories to avoid overheating of machines while operating. So like in a vehicle, in factories also, they use different types of water as a coolant, right? To different machines operating in a factory. So ඒකෙත් මොකටද පාවිච්චි කරන්නේ? මේ overheat වෙන එක අතර කරන් තමයි coolant එකක් මේ දාන්නේ. Right? Water is used. Okay. Then the last topic of our lesson is water as a medium of life. Now you know that as humans, we need land to live. මිනිස්සු විදිහට නැත්තම් ගොඩබිමේ ජීවත් වෙන සතුන් අපි හැමෝටම ඕනේ we need a land to live. Now what about fish? Can they live without water? No, right? They need water to live. So that you can see for the survival of life. ජීවය පවත්ව ගන්න ජලය ඕනේ. So one example is this, where fishes living in a sea. මේක example එකක් තමයි මේක. We are going to learn other examples as well. See, many aquatic organisms use water as their living environment. So living environment we call another term habitat. Habitat එක කියන්නේ ජීවත් වෙන පරිසර. තොර ජලයේ ජීවත් වෙන සතුන්ට අපි කියනවා aquatic organisms කියලා. Right? So our habitat is the land. Likewise, aquatic organisms, their habitat is water. Okay, sorry for the inconvenience. Okay, so the examples are, first is fishes, right? Tilapia, tuna. Then amphibians, right? They both live in land and water, right? You can take toad, frog. So they live, both of them, they live in water and land both. Then reptiles, right? Water snake, biyanaya කියලා කියන්නේ, right? So they live in water. Then turtle, tortoise, they also live both in land and water, right? Then mammals like dolphin, whale, their habitat is also water. So other than that, right, there are other uses of water as a medium of life. Digestion of food and producing energy and many other chemical reactions take place. So our food, they dissolve in saliva and then it goes into our stomach, right? For all these things, water is acting as a medium. ගොඩාක් chemical reactions වෙනවා. ඒ chemical reactions වලින් අපිට ශක්තිය නේද? It produce energy. So all this happens inside our body. For this, water is acting as a medium. After the digestion of food, you can see that nutrients absorbed to our body, right? So once these are absorbed, they are transported to the cells through blood, so that you can see for that liquid nature also water is mainly present, or it mainly acts as a medium. Other than that, right, vitamins, minerals, medicines, all these things are transported within our body with the help of water, right? Then excretory materials such as urea are transported throughout, right? All the excretory materials are collected from different organs and then they are sent out of our body. So for that also water acts as a medium, right? So that you can see that water is an important substance or important thing for the survival of life. ජීවය පවත්ව ගන්න නම් මොනවද? ජලය කියන දේ අපිට අත්‍යවශ්‍යම දෙයක්. Right? So this is our lesson. So we learned the functions of water. So I think you understood today's lesson.